Okay, I want to come to you and I want to talk to you about a nasty 10-letter word called discipline. And one thing about wanting to make a lot of progress and awesome gains inside your life is it requires a certain process. And part of that process is called discipline. And this is one of the main reasons why most people tend to fail at achieving real big things because uh, they lack the discipline. Now, a lot of people lack discipline not because they don't have the ability to be disciplined. I believe that if people lack discipline because they're sold on an old formula for discipline. A lot of times people think discipline requires willpower, and it does require a certain amount. But what I've learned is that can be done through habits. One of the things that I tell people when they often ask me, Clint, how were you able to make such big changes inside your life, and how do you progress so rapidly in the last 3 to 4 years? And what I tell them is it's easy. I remove two variables as necessary from my equation for success, and those variables are easy and like. True, I do like doing the things that I like and love doing. But I also understand that part of the process means that I'm going to have to do some things that I don't like doing. So, what I wanted to talk about today is starting with my morning routine. Um, for you guys and you ladies that's out there that are doing things within inside your normal routine and you want to start achieving goals outside your comfort zone, you're going to have to change up. You're going to have to do something different. And you're going to have to create time for yourself because time is not going to be something that's given to us. We have to create it. So one of the things that I do is I wake up between 4 a.m. and 4:15 pretty much every morning. 4 a.m. if I go to bed early, like 10 o'clock, and if I go to bed late, I penalize myself a little bit, and I'll get up at 4:15. I don't penalize I give myself a little extra time, so then I'll get up at 4:15. But normally, when that alarm goes up at 4 or 4:15, I make myself get up. And the main reason that I do this is because I like to wake up in the morning with a win. When I go to bed at night and I know that there's things that I need to do the next day, I want to wake up and feel in that winning mindset. If it comes time for me to wake up and I give in to weaknesses like as if I'm tired or something like that, automatically I failed. I don't want to start my day off failing. So I want to set something that's going to be a little bit difficult for me to do. But once I overcome that first goal, that first obstacle, I record as a win. So I'm actually setting myself up for wins for the rest of the day. And there's a psychological benefit to this, but we'll talk about that later in the next video. So what I do is I actually get up at 4:15. I give myself about 10 minutes because a lot of times I could be groggy, moving around. I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to do. So I'm groggy, I'm moving around. And then what I do is I go make sure that I sit down and I try to give myself 25 to 35 minutes of meditation. Um, I also want to talk about meditation real quick. There's a lot of people that do not meditate because of a couple myths. One, they think it's all woo woo, and two, they think that you have to sit down and quiet your mind. I actually don't meditate for any of those two reasons. I don't meditate because I think it's going to take me to some higher dimensional plane or something like that, even though it might for some people. I meditate so that I can take time for myself and I can actually listen to my thoughts. Because once I listen to my thoughts, I can then take that energy and redirect them towards the things that I want to do. Now, of course, over time and after a little bit of practice, you do start to actually being able to quiet your mind. But I tell people, do not let be quieting your mind be the thing that stops you from sitting down and taking time to get inside your own mind. Because let me tell you, when we unlock this, is when we start to unlock everything. Studying all types of books, I don't care where they come from, they're great. But when you unlock this is when you really start to have the power that you want. Okay, so moving on. After I do that, I get up and then I meditate. I do a little work in between then. After that, bam, hit the gym. Or I do a walk. Or I get on my row machine. But one thing that I make sure that I do is within the first 3 hours of my day, I take time for myself to focus on building my mental strength. I take time for myself to focus on building my physical strength. And then I take time for myself after that to nourish my body. And I wanted to kind of show you guys my standard uh, morning breakfast. So this is pretty much something that I have some variation of this plate every morning. These are protein pancakes, uh, celery with peanut butter, strawberries, bananas. I mix the fruits up, and then I have cucumbers and carrot. I like to try to make sure that I wake up, I take time for myself here. I also invest in myself here, physically wise, externally physical wise. And then I also make sure that I try to have live living foods that I put inside. And then with that, I wash it down. This is reverse osmosis alkaline water. Got a pump for it. And I want to tell everybody that all these things take discipline. Because trust me, I don't be wanting to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's a lot of times that I want to stay laying down, but I know there's a lot of things that I want to accomplish, and I can't. And I need more time to be able to do it. Plus, in that time between 4 and 7, most people are either still asleep or just starting to get up, especially on the weekends. So this leaves me uninterrupted time, no phones, no emails, no any of these things to kind of get my me work done and also work on some side projects. I don't eat meat. It's not because I don't like meat. It's just I have to have the discipline to do what I feel is going to increase the likelihood that I can have a healthy, longer life, living to 95 plus. And I do believe that eating more living foods gives me more energy, more clarity to be able to do the things that I want to do. So that's it. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that nasty 10-letter word called discipline and ways that we can actually implement that inside of our life so that we can start to become the strongest and best version of ourselves. Because when we want to truly make big changes inside of our life, we have to make big changes from inside, and that will affect our outside reality. So, with that, I just wanted to jump on real quick to talk about that and always say, of course, at the end of the day, it's about each one teaching one, always striving to be the strongest version of yourself. Never compare yourself to average people, or you'll never be more than average. Oh, as a quick caveat, I'd like to, of course, introduce my book once again, The Reverse Effect, The 7 Life-Changing Principles. A lot of these things that I talk about inside these videos are broken down step by step inside the book. If you don't got your copy, don't go to Amazon and get a copy. Inbox me directly so that I can send you a copy, free shipping. Well, or shipping on me, it's not actually free, signed. All right, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, always keep growing.